Which was totally inappropriate.
Victor's cracking up. It was totally inappropriate. It was an absolute
Totally inappropriate.
It was horrible.
I know. Did you spank your own hand or anything?
No, I gave myself a high five. It was a great insult. Is this my guy from North Philadelphia, born and raised on the playground is where you spent most of your days? What's going on with you?
I'm on.
You my gangbanger holding down North Philly?
Yeah.
I'm so glad you did that then, because I was going to get into my super jaded mode, and that's always a downer.
I was probably going to get into an argument.
You call it super jaded, and Jake just goes ghetto.
Trust me, you got plenty of time to sleep when you're dead.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Soothing thought. Thank you. Thank you, Ortongo.
Very calming.
Very calming. Boy, I wish I knew who you were. You little mullet.
What's wrong with you?
It's either this show or indigestion. I hope it's indigestion.
Why?
It'll get better in a little while. I wonder if there's anything she isn't good at.
Yes? Choosing what show to be on.
I wish that somebody in there could tell this guy to take his mask off. I got a feeling this little bastard's the ringleader on this deal, but... Hey, I love Oggs, but to hang around me, you've got to have thick skin. What is it with girls nowadays? They want to sound like they're 5. It's a gateway drug. It's not a gateway drug. Shut up and get high, you old bitch. I get so tired of being right. It's like right. On the fake radio, blog talk radio, fake internet radio air. I'm not asking you to believe that Jesus was the Son of God. I'm asking you to reference a history book that is just as real as reading about Benjamin Franklin. Hit me again and put some stank on it. I'm joking. That's not funny. I know it's not funny because a lot of girls get hit. You know, I mean, come on, girls. Haven't you ever seen The Burning Bed? Moving right along. No, wait. Is he out there rolling and folding while you're driving? Welcome to the program, Bullet Guy 37. I do believe in spooks. I do it.
Shout out to all the mean guys. Y'all gotta remember, Deb Daly's white. So you can't be calling her a because it doesn't make sense. You know what I mean?
I'm one of your biggest fans too, Debbie. I don't think I can go more than a day without hearing your show, whether it's live or on the podcast. I think you got a good thing going on here.
Just because they don't believe in God, they think all that was bullshit. The only thing that is questionable at this point, people, is whether or not that man, who is a history figure, who was born, who walked the earth, his name was Jesus and his last name was Christ, Jesus Christ. The only reason that you have to doubt is whether or not he was the Son of God, the creator of this whole mess we're living in, okay? That's the only thing. Other than that, I can assure you, as well as I'm sitting here talking today, that he was a real person. A lot of people, like the Jews, think of him as a prophet. I just realized I didn't open a chat room, so it's open now, so y'all can all pile in. $5, drink it around.
The Debbie Daily Show. 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 The Debbie Daily Show.
Tell you, don't worry about it. It's always great when people are talking about you, because when they're talking about you, they're worried about you.
The Debbie Daily Show. The Debbie Daily
What's
Show.
up? This is the Fat Red Dragon from the 420 Grindhouse, and you're listening to the Debbie Daily Show.
The Debbie Daily Show.
They're so angry at their own sense of lack of accomplishment, and the only thing they can do is blame someone else for it.
The Debbie Daily Show. The Debbie Daily Show. The Debbie Daily Show.
And when they're worried about you, you've got them where you want them.
The Debbie Daily Show. The Debbie Daily Show.
You're listening to The Debbie Daily Show. Now broadcasting live on Spreaker.com. Debbie Daily, changing the world, one caller at a time.
All right, here I am live and with you. This is me, Debbie, live on Sunday night, the something day of May. It's the 17th day of May, 2015. And I am here in my little makeshift studio to talk to you about how stupid young people are today. That's right. You heard me. Stupid. What I mean by that is I said the title of the show is Mr. Midnight Movie Tried to Warn Me. About 2 weeks ago, we were chatting on my phone offline, and he says, you know something, Debbie? It just never works out when you get involved with people that have mental problems. It just never works out. And what he meant by that is people that have mental disorders and you try to befriend them. And I'm not talking about Pauly B, not in the least. I think that guy's a sweetheart. And for that matter, I like DJ Baby Boy. I think he's adorable too. But this girl that goes by the name of Angela, she's got some problems. And she's got a long life ahead of her if she doesn't take some advice from somebody who's been there and can tell her right away, it's not going to work the way you're doing it. It's not going to work. It's never going to work. Your life is never going to be what you want it to be because you are blazing at the bit against people like myself who try to help you. When I was her age, all right, I would have never, and I know she's like, 30 or something like that. That's young, okay? And when I was that age, I would not dream of disrespecting an elder, so to speak, okay? I mean, I know I'm not elderly like a grandma type person, with gray hair and they're all wrinkly. I'm not like that, but I'm older than her and I know a hell of a lot more than she does. And she's coming at me with so much bullshit. I'm like, little girl, go away. I cannot help you in the least. You have laid the foundation on this relationship that you're a disrespectful little smart mouth bitch and you can take it somewhere else. I have no use for you in my life. None. You need to go hang out with Bathtub Girl. I mean, I'm sorry, but that's just the way I feel about it. You know me, when the year turned this year, I turned out to be a little bit different. I don't hold back. I'm not as sweet as I used to be. I'm a little bit more forward speaking than I used to be. I used to hold back, and I don't anymore. That girl is a psycho. I mean, she's... Before we get into that, I'm going to play, like I was talking to you guys the other night about, when I was deep into the paranormal genre on Blog Talk Radio. Now, I know this is going to twist Stabby off 6 ways till Sunday, but that's just Stabby, right? I don't play to Stabby. Here it is. This is my original interview of David Roundtree. Da-da-da, it's
back
coming.
And forth.
Wait, let me go back.
What?
Let's just pretend like the show hasn't started yet.
Now, don't forget, everybody, this is when I was on Blog Talk Radio, and this was before I had my own studio. Well, it's very small, but it's still a studio. I was on a phone. It was just very crappy audio, so just bear with it.
Okay. Now, Morgan, there's no delay on questions on the Skype chat. So let's just pretend like the show hasn't started yet. This is a good thing. Now, I guess we need to all give a round of applause to my husband. Yay! He fixed it. I mean, it is so difficult. I don't know if you know what we're doing, but we have a network, and it's, for lack of a better purpose, for lack of a better reason, for lack of a better word, it is sort of it's a
temperamental.
Yeah. Well.
Let me second of all tell you, this was my grand reopening, I guess you could say, on Blog Talk Radio. I'd been away for the summer. I got off Blog Talk Radio for whatever reason. And this is my premiere show when I came back. I got an email saying, you're welcome to reapply to Blog Talk Radio anytime you want. So I did. They accepted me. And this is my first show. I was so nervous because everybody knew I was back and there was a huge chat room. And I was just really, really, really nervous. So you're going to be able to tell how nervous I am. And see, I'm working off of a stream, so when I hit play, it takes it a couple of seconds.
A radio station that we're coming out over 8 different platforms. And we're also coming out over Blog Talk Radio right now. And we are incorporating the two. He just called me, and he can hear me on Skype. And this is a great thing. I want you to know that I don't care about any of that. What I care about is this. I care about that I have got you on my show, and everybody needs to go and tell everybody on BTR that has anything to do with the paranormal that God has just walked into the room.
Oh, come on. Cut it out.
Okay. I wanted to introduce you, and I can introduce you. And I heard somebody the other day say that they were going to introduce you. And I said to myself, no, I didn't think that sounded right. And besides that, you're 15 minutes early.
Yes, I know. I wanted to make sure everything was working because there was only one channel coming through on the media player feed. So I wanted to make sure all my stuff was good. So I figured you just wouldn't answer.
Oh, I'm real sure I'm not going to answer you. Yeah, right. For those of you who don't know, who aren't keeping up in your manuals and your programs, this is the actual David Rountree with no D. It's Rountree, and he sits at the top of the heap in the paranormal world, period. No questions asked. He does. He can be as humble as he wants. Oh, no, don't say that. He is. And I don't know if you remember when we first met, David, but we didn't meet. About 2 years ago, I asked you a question on a forum, if you're going to remember this. And I said, would you listen to an EVP of mine? And you did, and you came back and you said, I would love to, but I can't hear it. And then you went off into this other long thing with another guy on there. It was on the same thread. Just so you remember.
Did you know? Did you send me the file?
I posted it in the forum. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no.
You know, sometimes when you do that.
Yeah.
I'm going to go forward, but first of all, I want to explain who David Rountree is to everybody that doesn't know. I'm going to pull up his curriculum vitae here for everybody so you'll know who we're dealing with. Actually, that was his first interview ever on Blog Talk Radio. And here we go. All right. David Rountree, scientific paranormal investigative research information, that spells spirit, is an organization dedicated to the collection, documentation, and analysis of paranormal phenomena. The information, theories, and discoveries posted on this site are the result of years of research by scientists from various disciplines who have invested a great deal of their time in the pursuit of the Answers to Paranormal Activity Based on Science. The director is David Rountree. David Rountree, Einstein-Rosen bridge formation, appears to be the primary mechanic involved in paranormal phenomena. We have known for some time that the phenomena are emerging, meaning it's a local condition with a non-local source. In science, there are only very few things that can create the conditions for these emerging... Hold on a second, let me open this up. I was trying to find his curriculum vitae. That's not his curriculum vitae. Okay. It says, an Einstein-Rosen bridge, also known by its common vernacular, a wormhole, in paracircles, portal, or vortex, is a hypothetical topological feature of a space-time that would fundamentally be a shortcut through space-time. A wormhole is much like a tunnel with two ends, each in separate points in space-time. This guy is a scientist. That's his writings. Let me see if I can go over here and find his curriculum. Let's see. It's somewhere here. I wonder if this is it. No, that's not it. Let's look over here and see if this is it. Let's see. Excuse me. What happened to his thing? Let me find it this way. Where is it? I lost it. He wrote a book called Paranormal Technology, Understanding the Science of Ghost Hunting. He is, I wish I had his, maybe it's on that audio I was fixing to play. There's so much about him on the internet here. Well, here, we'll just do this one. All right. It says, David was born in Suffolk, Virginia, but moved to Delray Beach, Florida in the fall of 1963, where he first became interested in the paranormal. In 1965, his next-door neighbor, Fred Grostuck, a retired college professor and pattern maker, gave him a book called Adventures in the Paranormal. It was essentially a collection of short stories of events from all over the world that were scientifically unexplainable. Fred also introduced him to Fate magazine. He proceeded to read every book about the paranormal he could get his hands on. He participated in the exploration of his first haunted house at the age of 17 in Boynton Beach, Florida. He received his Bachelor's of Science in 1973 while serving in the United States Air Force in microwave technology. In November of 2007, he received a master's degree in electronic engineering in digital science processing. In 1978, he was certified as an audio engineer, and in 1985 as an acoustic engineer. David worked in the entertainment industry as a technical director, lighting designer, and audio engineer for over 20 years. He retired from the University of Florida in 2001. Currently, David is manager of public address communications and director of the Audio Research and Development Lab for the third largest public transportation corporation in the nation. He is currently working on his doctorate in physics. David is a professional member of the American Association for the Advancement of Science, the Audio Engineering Society, the International Frequent Sensor Association, and is affiliated with the Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers. He began his research into the paranormal professionally in 1976 and has investigated cases scientifically from Rhode Island to Key West. David has experimented with both scientific as well as metaphysical techniques in his study of unexplained occurrences. Over the course of his research, he was able to confirm that EVP was not related to sound by use of the bell jar, a vacuum pump, a Shure dynamic microphone, and a TEAC 4010S reel-to-reel recorder. Due to several encounters of a very negative nature from 85 through 87, he made the decision to concentrate on the scientific research concerning the phenomena and not the metaphysical aspects of the events. I could go on and on and on. I mean, he just is. He's a board member of the Professional Society for the Advancement of Paranormal Research. He is also serving as the acting executive director and the director of the SPIRIT Laboratory, co-director of the New Jersey Paranormal Research Group, co-founder. I mean, it just goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. He was featured on Comcast Newsmakers in 2006. He has also been a guest on WNTI-FM and just blah, 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 blah. It literally goes on forever. I think of him, he's an audio engineer. He's an audio... I think he's even got my thing on his thing right here. Let's see. I think he's got my interview on his site. Yes, he does. He has my interview here. But I'm going to play it off of my sound card. It'll sound a little bit better. He's come back twice since then to my show and would come back, he would come back again. He has a quote on here that says, well, it just jumped away when I did something. Anyway, let's get back over here. All right, going back to my interview of David Rountree. I'm going to bump forward here on it, okay? I hope we're in a good place.
Like in the middle of a room from no apparent source.
Pete, would you please...
I just asked him, what is an EVP?
Expound on that for us. Oops, I don't have David. What happened to David? Oh, rats. David, are you with me? Did I lose you, David? David, did I lose you, David? I may have lost David. Rats. I hope he can still hear me because that was the main thing I wanted to talk to him about. Where did he go? Let me see if I can find him. Here we go. Oh, here he is. David, did you hear that?
Yeah, I have to tell you, Skype's on Quaaludes tonight because
I know, it's horrible.
It's just having a real hemorrhage out here.
Well, we'll try it a couple more times, and if not, I'll give you a 1-800 number to call in on. But would you please expound on why you believe, because I believe too, that EVPs are, in fact, they come out of electromagnetic field. First of all, for us that are really brain dead, what exactly is an electromagnetic field, and how do you feel that EVPs come out of that?
Well, electromagnetism is one of the four fundamental forces of the universe. The other forces are gravity, the lesser nuclear force, and the greater nuclear force. Now, that doesn't make a lot of sense to most people, but what electromagnetic energy is everything that has frequency in the universe is electromagnetic fields. For example, light is an example of an electromagnetic field in a certain frequency, and it manifests as light. Gamma radiation is electromagnetic fields. If you look at radio transmissions, they are electromagnetic fields. So just about everything that has frequency, except for sound. Sound is a mechanical energy that's made basically by our vocal cords when we push air through it. And often these recordings that are picked up, the people that are doing the recording, they do not hear the voice. In some cases, they do hear a voice, but that's a different kind of phenomena. We call that audio or oral voice phenomena. In other words, you can hear it. Oral meaning A-U-R-A-L. But electromagnetic fields, are you still there?
I sure am. I'm sitting here just dying to hear your answer.
Okay. Oh, because there's like snow and stuff coming in on my headset, so I'm just making sure that we're still connected. But anyway, so what happens is that I started actually looking at electromagnetic fields back in the 70s, sometime around 77, because the only thing that made sense to me could be causing these things would be an EMF or an electromagnetic frequency in the audio spectrum that was being picked up by the microphone coil and then, of course, transcribed onto the recording machine. And back then we were using these big old 70-pound TIAC reel-to-reels that, took a small truck to load around, and nothing was portable back in those days. But we started getting an idea that it was EMF that was the root source of these EVPs back then, unfortunately, we didn't really have the technology to prove it. And it wasn't until about 6 years ago that we were actually able to use handheld instrumentation and actually capture an EMF wave file that matched an EVP wave file that we recorded. And since then, we've probably gotten 20 or 30 of these wave files that we've analyzed and found that they were an exact match frequency-wise.
Okay, let me stop you there and ask you a question.
Sure.
Now, this is going to get you right between the eyes. Is EVP voices from the dead?
Well, we don't know that. I'll tell you what we do know. We know that they emerge into our environment like in the middle of a room from no apparent source. I've actually built a device that allows us to pinpoint the exact point of emergence that these EMF signals come into our universe, so to speak. And they tend to be very localized in their effect. We can trace the exact point where they emanate into our environment, and then we focus a lot of our instrumentation in the area where these things emanate from to try to determine really what's going on. Are they voices from the dead? There's certainly a lot of anecdotal evidence that says that they may be, particularly when you get information and content off of the EVPs.
Names, things like that, birthdays, okay, right.
Names, birthdays, bits of history that later is confirmed as being true, this sort of thing. It's nothing that stands up scientifically. However, at some point, the mountain of anecdotal evidence becomes very significant, and we're at that point right now with EVP research. The anecdotal evidence is mountainous, that it's indicating that the consciousness survives after death.
Wow, that's a big statement. It's indicative that the conscience does survive after death. Now, let me ask you something. Can most people, like myself, your normal lay person, can I capture EVP? Can I talk to my father and my mother with a digital recorder? I mean...
Well, I don't know if you can talk to specific individuals. It doesn't really work like that. What usually happens is you're in an area where there's activity. You start running these recorders, and you start picking up voices, and chances are you're picking up whatever is attached to that location.
But David, what if it sounds like my mother or my father or my grandfather? What if they call me Bibbidi Boo?
I'm having a small problem here with one of the kiddos here. Hold on just a second. I'm going to go ahead and let this keep playing, but I won't. I mean, I'm going to be here, but I'm dealing with a small issue with one of the kiddos here, okay?
Uncool to do it back in those days.
They probably really would have called them in the white coats. But yeah, I don't want to go with the basket weaver, sit and smile. And it's but sometimes, David, it is to where, may I call you David? Call me Debbie, please.
Okay.
My brother's name's David. My father's name was David, and everybody in my family's name was David. So
it's a common name.
It's a very common name. And for all of you out there, I speak for all of you. Sometimes it becomes, and it's been so bad that I've actually had my husband take me to a hotel. That's only been on 2 occasions, and I guess I've just gotten used to it. But it's like a, and it's just, I don't know if I've just gotten used to it or what.
Is it in your house?
I don't know. It sounds like it's in my head sometimes because I close my ears. He went and got me these headphones that you use when you fire guns. I don't have them on now, but they stick on your head. And I couldn't hear my daughter if she was screaming at me in front of my face, and I still hear it. As a matter of fact, it almost gets amplified some or whatever. So I don't know.
Those are great.
Yeah, they are great. And there's times he can hear it too. So, I don't want to get too personal with you here. Just to make it all.
I'm so nervous on this show. I'm just going blah, 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 blah. I'm just babbling like an idiot. I just I hate it. Let me see if I can go forward to where I'm not babbling on it.
Which has an in and an out. They are spiral and connected and vortexual, and they appear to be very similar to a double helix configuration, much like DNA and a lot of other subatomic particles that we're starting to learn about. So,
I don't know about you people. This stuff is fascinating. Do you know what we're talking about here, people? We're talking about time travel. We're talking about stuff that back in the 70s and the 80s and the 90s, they had TV shows where they lost in space, and this is what this guy's talking about. This is what this guy gets dressed for and goes to work for every day. He's working on and communicating with the other side, perhaps, or something.
It's very possible that we are dealing with a parallel or at least adjacent universe where the possibility is it is actually resonating at a different frequency than our own. It may even be occupying the same space as our own, but we're oblivious to it because we don't perceive.
Okay, what he said, if I would shut up in the show, is that, because I told him sometimes I hear like a squealing noise in my ears. I mean, a lot of people have that. And he said that it could be being tuned in to another dimension or something like that. I mean, he wasn't that clear about it. But I just can't stand the way, I hate this show. That's why I've never listened to it. You know those shows that you do when you just want to stick needles in your eyes because you just can't stand hearing your voice? And it's just, it was my first show, and I was nervous as hell. So if y'all can deal with listening to me babble, then I'll just let it play because it's just a lot of babbling. My poor babies. Ugh. She is so upset.
So this is good news. I mean, of course, I'm being kind of weird when I say that, but you know what I'm saying. I mean, this isn't. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. This is.
No, it means we're very close to understanding another part of life. I don't think what we're dealing with is paranormal at all. I think it's actually normal. We just don't understand it yet.
Personally, on a very personal level, and you don't have to answer if you're uncomfortable, do you believe in life after death? Are you being what you are, which is fascinatingly unbelievable to me? Do you believe in, what are your beliefs as far as that goes? And like I said, if you're uncomfortable answering that, just say, whatever.
Well, no, I mean, I converted to Roman Catholicism back in 2002, and of course, I believe in an afterlife. Plus, I've had experiences growing up and in my family that, reinforces my belief that the consciousness survives after death. I've had information given to me from dead relatives, for example. I couldn't find something, and they would come to me in a dream and tell me exactly where it was.
There you go. There is the absolute top of the heap, the number one paranormal researcher in the world, and he is not a believer. He is more of a debunker. He has spent the greater part of his adult life trying to debunk EVPs, trying to prove something that they're not. He's not trying to prove that they are what people think they are. But the statement he just said is that in his 33 years of research, he believes that the conscience goes on after death. Now, that's a pretty big statement. That's a huge statement, if you want to know my opinion. My poor baby. Oh, man. Hold on. Oh, I have one of them upset. Okay. I have one of my very own wanting to know what happens after we die. Well, in my opinion, the only thing we have to go on is what the Bible tells us. The Bible's been around for quite a long time, and although Stabby will argue with me on that point some, and I do respect what Stabby says, and I do mean that. I totally respect anything that Stabby says because he does make a lot of sense. However, when it comes to what I'm supposed to believe, what I'm supposed to teach my children, that's what she's asking me. What happens after we die? She just woke up. She was having a nightmare. And she's scared to death, and I love her to death. You know that she's all I live for. You know, her and my son are just they're just the reason I breathe, the absolute reason I breathe. And so I want to talk a little bit tonight. I guess I got asked earlier by one of the listeners, "Is this going to be a Bible show tonight?" I guess I could turn that into that, but before that, I want to say something to her, and that is how much I love her and how much she's loved. It's just crazy. It's unbelievable how much I love her. I mean, it's scary when I think about her. You know what I mean? I know. That's all I talk about sometimes is my kiddos here. And then I know she's a big girl. I know that. I know that more than anybody does. But still, she's my child. When I look at her, just like when your parents look at you, no matter who you are, they still see a baby. Not a baby, but they still see their child. And that's what I see when I look at my children. I see children. And so to start off, I want to play this for her, if she's out there listening. I think she's listening. This is for you, sweet angel. for you. And that's for you, Sissy Bones. That's one of her lullabies when she was young, and she remembers that one. And she doesn't remember a whole lot, but she does remember that one. But that, even in that song in itself, it speaks of something going beyond where we're at. And I believe that that is what this whole existence is based on. We're spiritual beings. We're made up of energy. The song says, don't lose your way. With each passing day, you've come so far, don't throw it away. And that's very true. You've come so far and you're getting so strong. Live believing that dreams are for weaving, wonders are waiting to start. Live your story, faith, hope, and glory. And it's just, you cannot live this life wondering what's going to happen when we leave this life. You can't do that. That's not what God intends us to do, and that's not what Jesus Christ said for us to do. The only thing that we have to go on in this world, and I don't care who you are or what you believe, the only thing that we have to base this existence on and where we will go when we leave this dimension. Yes, I do, Mr. Midnight Floovies, my love. I do agree with what you just said, if you're listening. The only thing that we have to base this existence on and where we are going is what we are told by Jesus Christ. Now, whether or not you believe that Jesus Christ was the Son of God is not what I'm talking about. Jesus Christ was an actual person that lived in the history books. He was known as Jesus of Nazareth. Jesus of Nazareth, I believe, was the Son of God. There's no way that I would ever believe he wasn't, because I don't believe that many people that were there during the time that Christ lived, somebody would have come up by saying it didn't happen, and so far nobody's done that. It's just what I was raised on, and it's where I'm going to always stick. It's where I'm always going to point my belief, is where he promised. I'm going to show you the place in the Bible where he says, where he promises. Hold on. I'm trying to find it while I'm talking. There was one point in the book of Matthew. Matthew was a tax collector. Excuse me. Matthew was a tax collector who lived in Jerusalem. And I think he probably lived in the temple. The temple was, of course, the big place where all the Jews, some Jews lived. It was sort of their castle, so to speak. It was called the temple. And there's only one wall of it still left there today. They called it the Wailing Wall. Well, in Matthew 24, it says, Jesus left the temple and was walking away when one of his disciples called his attention to some of the buildings, and he said to them, do you see these buildings? I tell you that not one stone will be left. They will all be torn down. And then he was sitting on the Mountain of Olives. And, well, let me let the reader read it for you. Pay close attention to this. This is going to answer your questions.
Matthew 24. Jesus left the temple and was walking away when his disciples came up to him to call his attention to its buildings. Do you see all these things? He asked. Truly, I tell you, not one stone here will be left on another. Every one will be thrown down. As Jesus was sitting on the Mount of Olives, the disciples came to him privately. Tell us, they said, when will this happen? And what will be the sign of your coming and of the end of the age? Jesus answered, watch out that no one deceives you. For many will come in my name, claiming, I am the Messiah, and will deceive many. You will hear of wars and rumors of wars, but see to it that you are not alarmed. Such things must happen, but the end is still to come. Nation will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. There will be famines and earthquakes in various places. All these are the beginning of birth pains. Then you will be handed over to be persecuted and put to death, and you will be hated by all nations because of me. At that time many will turn away from the faith and will betray and hate each other, and many false prophets will appear and deceive many people. Because of the increase of wickedness, the love of most will grow cold, but the one who stands firm to the end will be saved. And this gospel of the kingdom will be preached in the whole world as a testimony to all nations, and then the end will come. So when you see standing in the holy place the abomination that causes desolation spoken of through the prophet Daniel, let the reader understand. Then let those who are in Judea flee to the mountains. Let no one on the housetop go down to take anything out of the house. Let no one in the field go back to get their cloak. How dreadful it will be in those days for pregnant women and nursing mothers. Pray that your flight will not take place in winter or on the Sabbath, for then there will be great distress, unequaled from the beginning of the world until now, and never to be equaled again. If those days had not been cut short, no one would survive. But for the sake of the elect, those days will be shortened. At that time, if anyone says to you, "Look, here is the Messiah," or "There he is," do not believe it. For false messiahs and false prophets will appear and perform great signs and wonders to deceive, if possible, even the elect. See, I have told you ahead of time. So if anyone tells you...
Okay, I'm going to skip over to, I found the other one. It's in John 14. This is when he was sitting around having a meal with his disciples, his followers. And one of them asked him this question. Pay attention.
John 14. Do not let your hearts be troubled. You believe in God, believe also in me. My Father's house has many rooms. If that were not so, would I have told you that I am going there to prepare a place for you? And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come back and take you to be with me, that you also may be where I am. You know the way to the place where I am going. Thomas said to him, Lord, we don't know where you are going, so how can we know the way? Jesus answered, I am the way, and the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. If you really know me, you will know my Father as well. From now on you do know him, and have seen him. Philip said, Lord, show us the Father, and that will be enough for us. Jesus answered, Don't you know me, Philip, even after I have been among you such a long time? Anyone who has seen me has seen the Father. How can you say, Show us the Father? Don't you believe that I am in the Father, and that the Father is in me? The words I say to you I do not speak on my own authority. Rather, it is the Father living in me who is doing his work. Believe me when I say that I am in the Father, and the Father is in me. Or at least believe on the evidence of the works themselves. Very truly I tell you, whoever believes in me will do the works I have been doing, and they will do even greater things than these.
Now, the reason Jesus said that is I believe he was looking at technology. A lot of people have said, well, how could Jesus say that you will do better things than I? Well, because look at it like this. I can speak to 1 million people just by talking into a microphone. He couldn't do that. But he's fixing to tell you something else, and I'm going to tell you something, an example that happened to me just 2 days ago.
Because I am going to the Father, and I will do whatever you ask in my name, so that the Father may be glorified in the Son. You may ask me for anything in my name, and I will do it. If you love me, keep my commands. And I will ask the Father, and he will give you another advocate to help you and be with you forever, the Spirit of truth. The world cannot accept him because it neither sees him nor knows him, but you know him, for he lives with you and will be in you.
That's where Jesus gave us the promise of the Holy Spirit, okay? And he also goes on to say, I will not leave you as an orphan. I will come to you. Before long, the world will not see me anymore, but you will. Because I live in you, you will also live. And on that day, you will realize that I am in my Father and you are in me. Whoever has my commands and keeps them is the one who loves me. The one who loves me will be loved by my Father, and I too will love them. Then Judas said, But Lord, why do you intend to show yourself to us and not to the world? Well, let me just let it keep playing.
I will not leave you as orphans. I will come to you. Before long the world will not see me any more, but you will see me. Because I live, you also will live. On that day you will realize that I am in my Father, and you are in me, and I am in you. Whoever has my commands and keeps them is the one who loves me. The one who loves me will be loved by my Father, and I too will love them and show myself to them. Then Judas, not Judas Iscariot, said, But Lord, why do you intend to show yourself to us and not to the world? Jesus replied, Anyone who loves me will obey my teaching. My Father will love them, and we will come to them and make our home with them. Anyone who does not love me will not obey my teaching. These words you hear are not my own. They belong to the Father who sent me. All this I have spoken while still with you. But the Advocate, the Holy Spirit, whom the Father will send in my name, will teach you all things, and will remind you of everything I have said to you. Peace I leave with you. My peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid.
Did you hear that?
You heard me say, I am going away, and I am coming back to you. If you loved me, you would be glad that I am going to the Father, for the Father is greater than I. I have told you now before it happens, so that when it does happen you will believe. I will not say much more to you, for the prince of this world is coming. He has no hold over me, but he comes so that the world may learn that I love the Father and do exactly what my Father has commanded me. Come now, let us leave.
All right? That is the only thing we have to go on, is what we're told. And there's nothing that anybody else can say to anybody other than that, because they don't know. They're not, I mean, I can't sit here as a Christian and tell somebody why I believe what the Bible says. I just do. And I believe that you're either taught to believe it or you're taught not to believe it. I choose to believe it, and there's been a million more people, a jillion more people before me that have. But there was one more thing I was going to show you, if I can find it while I'm just talking with everybody and doing 5 things at once. I'll try to do something else first. Okay, let's do this. I'm going to take a quick break while I find this next clip I'm going to play, and then I'll be right back. Don't anybody go away. Don't go away. And I will play my daughter talking. I love that clip. When she was asked how she feels about being raised by me and, of course, her dad, and this is what she said.
I've always been the type of person where I never had any worries or stress, and it was a very, very easy life my parents gave me. I'm very, 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 very thankful for that. But at the same time, it was my own worst enemy to me, because it really didn't prepare me for the real world. I did not know what the word divorce meant until I was about 13 years old, and I met my best friend, and her parents were divorced. I didn't understand. I didn't know what cheating was. I didn't know people stole anything. I was really raised in a very sheltered, happy, positive life. Parents loved each other, married, everything like that, the whole nine. And
I can think of younger days when I lived for my life was everything a man could want to do. could never see tomorrow. I was never told about the sorrow. Stop the rain from falling down. Tell me, how can you stop? Oh, sun from shining. What makes the world go round? And how can this broken man, yeah. How can a loser ever win? Somebody please help me now. My broken heart, and let me live yeah. La 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 la. I can still feel the breeze that rustles through the trees, and misty memories of days gone by. But we could never see tomorrow. Would you believe that no one ever told us about the sorrow? So how can we make a broken heart? And mine is, how can you stop the rain from falling down? Can you stop us, that old sun from shining? What makes the world go round? And sometimes I have to say, say, I just wanna live again, baby. How can you mend this broken man? Yeah. Somebody tell me, how can a loser ever win? Baby, I'm gonna say, baby, help me mend this old broken heart. I believe I feel like I feel like I wanna live again. How can you mend this broken heart?
Yikes, I'm back. I'm sorry. Okay, I found something else that may help people to understand what I'm talking about, and that is, of course, somebody that can do it better than I can, which is to show you. I mean, some of us are visual learners. Some of us are auditory learners. I think most of us are visual and auditory. I think we get more out of hearing something than reading it. This is taken from the film Son of God, which is taken directly from the scripture. This is when he meets Matthew. And there's a lot to be learned from this little piece right here. And I finally found it. Here we go. This is Jesus speaking to Matthew and to the Pharisees.
But the tax collector didn't even look up to heaven.
Sorry, I didn't go far enough back. Okay, here we go.
Oh, this tax collector. But the tax collector didn't even look up to heaven. He said, God, have mercy on me. I'm a sinner. God bless the tax collector, not the Pharisee. Anyone who praises himself will be humbled, and anyone who humbles himself will be praised.
Matthew, come.
See, now he even calls the sinners to follow him. One has to wonder of the sins committed by his other followers.
Jesus was not very popular when he walked and when he was going on his crusade, his mission. And coming up in this scene here, again, it's taking straight from the Bible. So you're just basically listening to an auditory Bible, sort of. And this is the disciples discussing, this is Judas and Thomas discussing his choice of followers. They're not very pleased with it.
Tax collectors.
There's not a thread of good in any of them.
Thomas, Jesus has not come for the good, but for the sinners.
He gives people a second chance. We should too.
Blessed are the poor, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Pray to him, and he will listen.
And how should we pray?
Like this. Our Father who is in heaven.
Okay, now to tell you what happened the other day. On Friday, I woke up bright and early, ready to tackle the day, and again felt like crap. And what I mean when I say I felt like crap, I just felt physically like I had no energy. I was just like blah. And I remembered watching a video the night before, a film the night before, that was on this exact subject. And it was a person that was talking about how Jesus said one time that if you call upon the Holy Spirit, he will come to you. And I sat there and I said to myself, you know, this is going to be a big, dramatic point in my life. Because at this point, I'm either going to say that Jesus was a liar, or I'm going to be convinced of what he said. And so I sat on the sofa in the den, and I said, okay, Holy Spirit, I need you. I need physical strength. I need to feel better, and then I can take it from there. I don't need you to do this or that or this or that, besides protecting mine, meaning my children and whatever. I said, I need you in the name, because he said to come in his name. So I said, in the name of Jesus from Nazareth, I'm asking you to help me to feel better. And then I think I just basically forgot about it. I just kind of just went about my day. Well, about 2 or 3 hours later, I was kind of bouncing around, doing this, that, and the other, and I got a phone call. And it was Lester. And I was just talking to him about this and that and the other. And he said to me, Debbie, he said, you really feel good today. And I said, yeah, I do. I really do. I feel great. And he said, well, I've never heard you like this before. You really do feel well. And I said, I actually do. And until about 5 minutes ago, it just hit me that happened. And I felt phenomenal that day, all day. I mean, truly phenomenal, all day long. And I thought to myself, coincidence? Was it a coincidence? I certainly didn't remember that. I mean, I didn't even say that to him when he was talking to me. I didn't say, oh, well, I just prayed for the Holy Spirit to come in. I didn't even remember. I just said, I just feel great. And I did. And I remember I did so much that day. I worked out. I went out for a run. I totally cleaned the house from one end to the other. I even ended up doing all this decorating. I was like, oh, I think I'm going to put this up over there and this over there. So you have to answer and ask yourself, is that a coincidence? I think not. Was it a coincidence tonight I prayed that my son was healed and he was healed overnight? Was that a coincidence? People out there that don't believe in the power of prayer and in the power of believing, they've never tried it. And I defy them to try it. And I have, the more I try to spread word like this, do I know what happens after we die? Do I know what happens after we die? I'll tell you what I think happens after we die. I believe that Jesus said, I go to prepare a place for you. And if I go there, I will surely come back for you. And in my Father's house, there are many rooms. I do not believe anybody as of yet is in heaven, according to what I believe. Now, there's other people that will tell you different. Do I believe that we just die and lay there and just turn into dust? No. That's impossible. We're a spiritual being. I am me. I mean, if we were going to die and turn into dust, we would all be the same person. I mean, I believe that our personality is proof that we are a spirit, that there is something residing inside of me that makes me me. That, I believe, scientifically, just like David Roundtree was talking earlier, you cannot quash that. You cannot stop energy. You can't do it. Scientifically, you can't do it. And he said that in his 33 years, some of you haven't even been alive for 33 years. For 33 years of studying the paranormal. And the paranormal goes hand in hand with what happens after we die. That was what piqued my interest in it, because I have so many people on the other side. Okay? Which, by the way, speaking of that, I found that EVP the other day. Okay, here it is. Now, what happens is I'm talking to Polly B and those other two people, right? And this happened. Drink twice? What did I do? Give him okay. Apocalypse in the chat room, which I was looking at the moment, said, Debbie, tell Stabby to give me a hug. And this is what I say. Drink twice? What did I do? Give him a hug. Apocalypse. Yes? I heard my father called me Sissy growing up. He called me Sissy constantly. He would say, "Sissy, come over here, sissy this, sissy that." And I hear somebody say, "Sissy," and I go, "Yes," and I turn away from the microphone. You can tell I turned my head just in a knee-jerk response. I go, "Yes," and then I went, "What?" It just caught me off guard. Here it is again. Starting now. Drink twice. What did I do? Give him a hug. Apocalypse. Yes. Here it is, isolated, just that one part. Apocalypse. Yes. And then I say, "Did somebody say sissy? Who just said sissy?" And you can tell it's neither one of those people. And she says, "Oh, it was me and my headset," or something weird like that. And then she's changed her mind 20 times. But I don't know. I mean, I just know we don't die and never to be heard from or seen again or whatever. I'm going to play that for y'all one more time. I'll turn it up loud as I can get it. Now, again, I say, give him a hug. And you know how bad I am with names. I couldn't think of Stabby at the moment. But here it goes again. A hug. Apocalypse. Yes. Isn't it odd that I answered it? I went, yes. And I turned my head. I remember turning and I was like, what was that? I mean, am I a perfect Christian? Fuck no, I'm not a perfect Christian. But we are not judged by what we do. We're judged by who we are. That's how I judge people. I do not judge people by what they do. If I did, I would be pretty crappy. I judge people by who they are. I still swear that some of my favorite people that I've met through the internet, people that you guys know, are Mr. Midnight Movie. I adore him. Travis, who is known as Wild Goose, and Pimp Hat, people like that. I mean, I adore. And you're going to say, but Debbie, those people doxed you. They swatted you. They did this, they did that. But that's just what they do. That's not who they are. These are funny people. And I don't know if you heard Mr. Midnight Movie on my show last night. He was off the chain funny. He went crazy for a minute. Him and Goose, they just both went batshit nuts. But again, here's just the words, sissy. Listen to like the reverb sound. And I didn't have reverb on. Apocalypse. Apocalypse. Can you hear it in the background? That sounds exactly like my father's voice. I mean, to the T. Apocalypse. And if you want to know what my father sounds like, just remember Dave that comes on my show all the time. My nephew Dave. So here's the entire thing so that you can hear before and after, starting now. Drink twice. What did I do? Give him a hug. Apocalypse. Yes. Who just said sissy? Isn't that bizarre? It wasn't either one of them, because I'm looking at it on a spectrogram and it was neither one of them. The spectrogram is scientific proof that it wasn't, because on their spectrogram, this person right here,
baby boy, let's go.
He goes up to 3 kilohertz when he speaks, okay, on the spectrogram. This voice did not even register 15 kilohertz. Okay. Baby boy registered. Stabby. And DJ Bad, I register right around 1500 kilowatts. I mean, what they call it? I don't know, kilohertz, whatever it's called. I know it's ridiculous. I don't know those words. Baby boy.
Baby boy, let's go.
He goes all the way up to almost a little over 3,000. And the voice that came over doesn't even register a little bit over 0 right here. A hug. Apocalypse. So there's no way it could have been him, because the spectrogram doesn't lie. I mean, you can say anything you want to say. And then she registered. Who just said sissy?
No, we didn't see.
She registered a little bit over 3,000, which that's just the way your voice is measured, is on a spectrogram. I mean, you can say what you want to say, but that's scientific proof. So whatever that was, and it wasn't Baby Boy because he was registering. I was listening to him. He was registering.
You hear, I got my headset on. I'm sorry.
And now her story is that Baby Boy said, she's so boring. That was him. She said to me on Skype, which I ended up blocking her because she was basically just trolling me with her bullshit. She says to me on Skype today, she says, the first thing she said was, let me say something right now and I am going to school you. And I thought, okay. I said to her, as long as you are involved with CDC whistleblower, I will not talk to you. That woman is dangerously mentally ill. And and my attorney will not allow me to deal with anybody that she deals with. That's a fact. And she goes, well, whatever. And I said, you were at her show. She will draw you in and feed you bullshit to make you try to hate me. And I said, it's funny, but she only showed up to get to you. She's done this to Allie Top. She's done this to Katie D. She is dangerous, and everybody knows it. So as long as you're dealing with her. But then she comes back and she goes, hey, the EVP that you captured was when Baby Boy said something smart. He said that you sound boring. In fact, it wasn't sissy. He said, she sounds boring. Okay, well, as we know, she sounds boring is 4 syllables. Okay, according to the spectrogram, it's a 2-syllable word. She says, I listened to the podcast. We all did. But when he said it, I didn't want to repeat it to you because it wasn't nice at the time. So now she's changed to she sounds boring. And I said, just go away. You're an idiot. And she said, no, you're the idiot for thinking that you had an EVP when it was Baby Boy in the background. I said, go away. Just please go away. Just walk away. I don't want anything. I can do that. I can say that. I can choose not to get involved. And why I said Mr. Midnight Movie was right is the other day, Mr. Midnight Movie said to me, Debbie, we are nuts to get involved with people that obviously have mental issues. And anybody that would talk to me the way that girl did, she doesn't even know me. I was so nice to those people. I can prove it. I actually posted the show. I was so sweet. And she just started berating me and saying all this horrible stuff. What a horrible person she must be. What kind of person would do that to somebody? What kind of person would sit there and talk like that about somebody that was so good to her? I mean, I want nothing to do with her. I will not be changing my mind. I do not have to be friends with her. I don't want to be her friend. You can say it's because she's a female, but maybe it is. But look at the psychoticness I get out of the psychoticness. Look at the psychos that I get. I tried to be friends with Bathtub Girl. Look what that got me. It got me a leech, stalker I can't shake. I tried to be friends with Desert Rose. Look at what that got me. I was sweet as hell to Desert. Precious to Desert. She twisted it all up and turned it all into I was doing all this weird shit. And then she tells people I'm going to try to kill her. Kill her? Are you kidding me? Women on the internet are psychotic. And I don't want anything to do with them. I'd rather hang out with just 3 people. Mr. Midnight Fluvies. I mean, he was off the chain on my show. He was off the chain. Off the chain. I think Heather's gone to sleep now. I hope she has. She had a bad dream. My baby angel. And then last night, my son calls me. I think I need to go to the emergency room. I'm like, what are y'all trying to do? Kill me? And so I dealt with that. And he's fine now at home. And it makes me feel so warm inside and so loved inside to know that they need me like that. I mean, what a sad, sad day it must be to not be needed. I mean, because that's what keeps us somebody in this world, is to be needed. I mean, think about it. What if nobody needed you? How sad would that be? To be needed is really nice. And very few people know that situation, know that feeling, unless you have had the grace of having children. And far be it for somebody to have a child and mistreat it. Far be it for somebody to have a child and neglect it, or even lose custody of it. I mean, what kind of a person? And I you know, you people can do what you want to do, but you know, God help you if you give audience to and listen to some of these people here on this network and other networks. Be choosy about who you listen to. Do your research. Figure out what kind of person they are in real life. Haven't I proved who I am in real life? Haven't I proved that I'm loved and admired and respected by people that are around me? Doesn't that mean anything to any of you? Are you all fake plastic people? Are you all just voices? Speaking of voices, y'all want to hear Mr. Midnight movie? Completely off the chain. For those of you that missed it, here's a little bit of the show, a complete train wreck. It was horrible. Here's when he and Wild Goose, go off the chain. They just lose their mind for a minute, and they start doing these voices. It's funny if you think about it. It's a joke. It's ridiculously stupid. I mean, if you think of, I hope I don't get my giggle box turned over. I mean, I've got this. Wait, I'd already hung up on him. Hold on, here it is. He's not one of my. He's not one of my contacts on Skype.
Give me his number! Oh, what the fuck?
That was Mr. Midnight. I'm going to go on mute while I play this because it's really funny. Now, see, what happened is Polly B kept telling me to call Rick. He must have said it 50 times, and 50 times I said, I can't call Rick. I don't have Rick as a contact on Skype. That's all he wanted to do, I found out. I figured out on this show was get into a fight with Rick. No, but he's
This guy just hit a nerve, Debbie. That's all. Debbie.
Paul, your family's trying to talk to you. Your family's in the background. I can hear them. They're trying to talk to you. But you're too busy getting drunk and talking to fake people on the internet.
No, I'm not.
Exist.
Come on.
Yeah.
No.
You are.
No.
You're talking to us right now. We are fake people on the internet that don't exist. And you're talking to voices in your head rather than your own family.
Debbie, I am not trying to do that, Debbie.
You're killing your family.
Kill my family.
Are we gonna have a Dr. Phil moment here? I had a Dr. Phil moment a few months ago.
This guy just pissed us off, so we had retaliate.
I need to get in contact with Zoe. Got some docs I need to drop.
We're not for that. We were trying to retire.
Does anybody else think that he's intoxicated, or is it just me?
Come on, Debbie, don't do this to me. We are having fun right now, Debbie.
Does anybody see the position I'm put in here?
Well, yes, you should put it in. Yeah.
Holly, stop saying Debbie. Hold on. We're trying to decide something because I normally don't deal with people that are intoxicated on the air because it's too hard. I never would deal with Reuter or Steve. It's just too hard to deal with people that are intoxicated.
But
listen, Debbie, I'll put it to you this way. I'm quote, air quotes here.
Hold on. Okay,
intoxicated.
Hold on.
So, but you don't hear me swearing or maybe I slur my word. I don't know. It's kind of a part of being. Slurring is harmless, but when you're going on here hurling abuse at people,
these are my.
It's just kind of unnecessary, man. It's uncalled for.
Hello,
you're trolling, man. You're being an internet cyberbully, and it's hurting people's feelings.
Midnight Movie. Okay.
All right, we've all had enough of this out here on the internet.
Caberlet here.
Nice. Let's all go around in a circle and say something nice about ISIS.
I think I just was trying to.
I think ISIS makes quality.
Okay, let me ask you
video.
something, Paulie B. Can you say the alphabet right now?
A, B,
Backwards.
C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, E.
He just fucked up.
E? All right, I'm going to give you one more chance. Give me the alphabet, Paulie.
Paulie's got to Google it.
Polly.
E-I-E-I-O. That's McDonald's Farm. That's McDonald's Farm.
That's the alphabet. F-U-C-K. Y-O-U.
Y-O-U. That's
You
right.
said F-U-C-K-Y-O-U. You said fuck you to me?
No,
That's what I
Debbie,
heard.
we didn't say that.
No, not
Yeah.
you, Debbie. No. We're
Paulie
just saying
just
in
told you
general.
to fuck yourself.
We're just shooting here. I'm good, Debbie.
ISISISCOOL.
Was that ISIS Duel? What did you say?
ISIS?
I don't know what he's talking about. I don't know.
That's when that movie talking. I mean,
I'm not a movie.
Yeah, this isn't.
Okay, here goes Mr. Midnight Movie. That's him.
Something. All right. You did that.
Allahu Akbar.
Oh, fuck. What the fuck? Who ate this shit?
No,
Who
I
put-
like that.
Who put dog shit in my shoe? Who did it then?
I love when Mr. Midnight Movie. I love when Mr. Midnight Movie starts acting like that. He starts being an asshole.
Debbie, I hope you're not pissed at me. I mean, like, really.
Okay, now this is a Mr. Midnight Movie you're not used to because on my show he's very poised and sweet and nice and respectful. Watch him go off the chain.
I can take everyone in this place. Who the fuck are you? Come on, motherfucker. I'll make your face into a cunt and I will fist fuck it.
Oh, my God. That
My
sounds
name's
like
Hank
Rick
Hill.
Vito.
All right. What is the natural state of propane?
I will burn this place down. You bitch.
What the fuck? You gonna burn shit down? No, I don't play that.
Your house to the
What is the natural state of propane?
That's not bad, Travis.
What the hell, Bill?
What the hell?
My name
Damn it, Bobby.
Bobby.
I cut your hair. I've been cutting hair for the Army for years.
You the boys that has been whacking off of my tool shed?
That's not bad at all. Oh my gosh, you
If you
guys.
kept your tool shed locked, them kids wouldn't be whacking off.
So there you go. There's Mr. Midnight Movie, just off the chain. I can just imagine he's over there laying in bed, fixing to go to bed. He's going, if you had kept your tool shed locked. I mean, and it gets crazier.
Yeah, what do you think
Spent all summer building that tool shed.
I don't know. It just sounds like you're
Yeah, I
trying
got my turtle boat.
I know. It's like you run my ass off.
Hey, at least they're entertaining. They're entertaining anybody that's listening to this train wreck, okay? They're doing impressions.
Who's a conductor on a train?
Debbie, this is
You're like,
not a train wreck.
Them kids
Nobody's
will
going
put
to
shopping
fucking
carts
die.
in front of the train.
Oh.
What the fuck is going on here? This show sounds like whack-off time. I'm a professional broadcaster.
Listen, there's nothing humorous about masturbation, Bobby.
Man, you sound just like Hank.
What is it? Two what?
There's some damn good talking there.
Apocalypse.
There's some damn good talking.
Overwhelming, unnecessary reverb.
Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar.
Allah Akbar. Allah
Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar.
What the fuck are we gonna do when Iran gets the bomb?
Listen to him.
Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar.
You Islamic terrorist bastard.
Listen to Mr. Midnight Movie.
Okay, who the fuck is saying that? Is that Midnight Movie saying that to me?
Who the fuck is saying that shit?
Debbie?
All your asses. Let me tell you something, buddy. I fought in the war. Who's doing that? But
Yo, Debbie? Debbie?
Let me tell you, Debbie.
Yo, fuck you, I want to talk to Debbie. I don't want to talk to you, I want to talk to Debbie.
I'm talking to Debbie.
Debbie!
Mm-hmm.
Debbie!
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes?
Okay. Can you get me Rick on the phone, please? Dan,
I can't do that. I can't do that. He's not one of my contacts on Skype.
Give me his number.
Oh, what the fuck? Well, how did you get him on last night then?
He called into the show.
I gave you his number. You need to I need to
So,
contact
Debbie, can
him.
you do me a favor?
This is the 50th time he'd asked me to contact Rick. Probably the 60th time. And I kept saying, I can't contact Rick. And then it just reaches a crescendo and I go, and I just pull the plug on it, which happens right about here.
You want, baby. Midnight Movie got the connection.
Like, it sounds like it's just like bringing the stuff.
That's Goose and Mr. Midnight Movie. They just went batshit crazy together. And then all of a sudden, in about 35 seconds, I just go whick and pull it.
It's coming out. It's coming out the cooch. Yeah. Yeah. That was wonderful.
Midnight Movie.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Can you call Rick on the Fuck You Network and have him talk to Dan? Or is she scared of fucking Dan?
Who the fuck is Rick, man?
I'm a fucking prick.
Who the fuck is Rick?
Who is Rick? I don't know.
Who is Rick?
He's just some douchebag. I don't know.
Debbie knows who Rick is. Debbie.
How come you don't like Barco, man? How come you don't like Barco? What's wrong with Barco, baby?
I don't care about Barco right now.
I don't care about Barco. Barco don't care about you.
Fuck Dan.
That's Goose breathing. Here we go.
I think we're in Star Wars, man.
That's Darth Vader.
And I'm fixing to end it. Do you see what I mean? It was hysterical at one point. That's Goose.
Okay, you just did a favor. Stand in line and talk to fuckers. Well, bathroom break.
Yes. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, baby.
So it sounds like somebody has like their phone held out the window while the car is going 150 miles an hour.
Yeah, baby. Do that again, man. That was awesome, man. Yeah.
No idea what's going on.
Boyer, call up that man, please.
Call what?
Call up that guy Rick from the Fuck You Network.
We tried to call him a couple times. He doesn't want to answer. He probably doesn't want to put us on air. I mean, I understand why he wouldn't, but...
Okay.
I have no idea, man. The guy's a crazy motherfucker. Who knows?
Yes, mm-hmm.
Seriously.
You know what? I want to go over and I want to pet Debbie's dog. I want to pet Gunner. Bring Gunner over here, baby. Please. Woof, woof. I'm so tired. Guys, Debbie, would you mind if I took the day off? I got to get up in the morning. Is that cool?
Hell, man, if you got to do what you got to do, you got to do what you got to do. Please, feel free.
Yeah, guys, I'm sorry. I got to get myself to bed.
I think I had actually walked off at that time, but it was funny. If you didn't catch it, it's called A Complete Train Wreck, and it was funny because it's just funny. At the end, it closes out funny, and I think everything's okay now. I think she's asleep. I think I'll check on the chat room. Is everybody being ugly in the chat room tonight? Chat rooms are really for trolls and people that are mean. Sometimes nice people go in there, but very few and far between. Let me see if I can go to the chat room. I haven't been there all night. Here I come. If you're being mean, stop typing. Here I come. I'm not there yet, but I'm on my way. Dark Angel. How you gonna dogged somebody and say they are sweet afterwards? Hey, Apocalypse, did you see what she did to my show last night? Okay, first and foremost, I've never been to your show last night. You're going to have to understand that there are, well, let's take a count of how many Debbie Dailies there are. D-E-B-I, enter. All right, for users, we have got a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55. Oh, here's a whole slew. 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82. There are presently 82 and more that I didn't get to. Debbie Daily networks on Spreaker. They are called sock accounts. Now, I have no idea what this little girl's talking about, but I'm going to go so far as to click the link to her show, quote unquote, last night, and I feel positive that it was not me. Let's go to Dark Angels Paranoia. Debbie Daily for you. Okay, let's go to her show, quote unquote, last night. And it's not there. Okay. Well, I'm sure she deleted it because she figured out it wasn't me. What?
The Apocalypse was saying something mean, and I actually, for a change, I actually stood up for Debbie. I was like,
oh, please do not stand up for me. I don't want anything to do with you, and you just keep using my name in your podcast, and you will get plenty of listeners. Okay. And yeah, there's almost all you do is, do you see her up there where it says search for users or collections? Do you see that up there? Type in the word Debbie, D-E-B-I, and then hit enter. Okay. Then after you do that, let me guide you through it. D-E-B-I, and then enter. Over on the right where it says users, scroll down and click see all. Now, these are users. These are accounts. These are sock accounts. Click see all. And then just start scrolling down. And you will see upwards to almost 100 sock accounts of Debbie Daily on this website. there's hundreds. I mean, there's not hundreds, but there's about 100 of them. People become me, and they go into chat rooms and they say shitty things to the hosts. They say things like, "Oh, fuck you, you're a piece of shit, and I hate your guts." And then the idiots think it's me. What you have to do to verify if it's me is you have to click the link to the person in the chat room. And then you will realize it's not me. I mean, I didn't even count all these that are Debbie Daly fan, Debbie Daly rules, listen to Debbie Daly, Debbie's brother, Debbie this, Debbie that. I didn't even click all of those. I just counted the ones with my picture. I mean, and that's pretty amazing. People open what's called sock accounts, and they run around the network as me, trolling hosts. And I'm quite sure she got trolled, and it won't be the last time. But I don't care. I don't really care to have a relationship with her because I smell trouble. And I am not going to get myself involved in any of that anymore. I'm not going to do it. So Apocalypse can tell that was Baby Boy in the background, right? Y'all tell me, does this sound like Baby Boy in the background? Are you kidding me? What? Go away. Go away. Leave me alone. Okay, here. Okay, Angela or Dark Angel, whatever you call yourself. I wish at this time not to have a relationship with you. Okay? I don't know how much else I can say that. Okay? I wish not to be your quote-unquote friend. Okay? I don't want to be your friend. All right? Don't want to. I can make that, I can say it 15 other ways, but I don't know how else to say it. So don't talk about me. Don't have shows about me. Don't put my name in your title. Kick her children out. Oh, girl, you are going to get trolled so hard for me. They are going to try. Because, see, what the trolls do is they love to make two people fight. They love that. I choose at this moment in time to have you out of my online life. Out. I don't want to. I adore Pauly B. I think he's cute. I think he's wonderful. I think he's a sweetheart. I don't know the other guy very well. I mean, I think he was great on my show when he did his freestyle. I thought that was great, but I don't want to have a relationship with you. You seem like you're going to be nothing but trouble for me. And I've been down every time I've had a relationship with a girl. It's never, ever turned out good. Okay? So I don't know how else I can say that. She's already on her show right now saying Debbie Daly something. And I'm like, whatever. You know, whatever. She's blowing up my chat room, saying all kinds of shit like that, you know, and just whatever. I mean, I would ban her, but I really don't feel like I'm listening to this show while taking a bath. And that's supposed to be what? Sexy? I'm sorry. I'm just not gonna reply to anything else you said. Anyway. All right, so that's it. What did I think about last night? Or are you talking to Apocalypse? You may be talking to Apocalypse. I thought it was an absolute train wreck. It was horrible. Did you not listen to it? It was terrible. You kept going, Debbie, call Rick. And I kept saying, I can't call Rick. And you kept going, Debbie, call Rick. And again, I would say, I can't call Rick. Debbie, call Rick. Did you not listen to it? It was horrible. Watch how many times you asked me to call Rick.
Fuck, Debbie. What the fuck?
When I hear it play back like that in the background, it even sounds funnier than when you said it.
Hey, Debbie, I don't fucking want to get in.
Now, the deal was, here's the deal. Now, we had an agreement. The agreement was that I wasn't going to be on the show that I was simply going to be in the background engineering, which I held up my part of the agreement. I made the page. I went so far as to make him a banner. Did y'all see the banner that I made for shooting the shit with Pauly B? Did y'all see that? It looks pretty cool. If you haven't seen it, click it. I made the banner. He wanted a certain song in the beginning. I did that. I held up my end of the bargain.
Okay, all right. Okay. Sounded weird for a second.
Look, Debbie, let's do this. Let me give you the number, and you call him up and put him on Skype. How about that?
All right. Whenever you're ready. I did this.
Okay.
He asked me to call the number. I called the number. He asked me to do everything he asked me to do. I did. That's the kind of person I am.
910
54 88.
88. Okay. There's a whole lot of fours in that. Yeah, what the fuck?
It makes it easier to remember. Okay. Now here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put that number into the Skype call.
Yo, how the fuck did I get the show from last night up in here?
Hold on a second. I'm going to add the number into here. 9.
I want to clear that up, all right, Debbie?
Okay. Let's see what I can do.
Okay, thank you, Debbie.
Now, he kept saying over and over again that he wanted me to get Rick on the line. I even go to Rick's chat room and say, Rick, will you call into my show to talk to Pauly B and Dan? No response. I held up my end of the deal, every single piece of it. That's the kind of person I am. I even played this song.
There you go.
He wanted to hear Metallica. I played Metallica.
Okay, you can't. I came back here. Yeah, I came back here, but it was amazing. Because you wanted to come on my fucking show, that's why you came back.
I had to travel, 2,700 or 800 miles back, yeah. Why not?
Yeah, my brother had to come back, you know.
Seriously.
Who's my fucking beer? You don't give me a fucking beer, you sitting right next to you, a fucking beer, man?
Here, man.
Oh, thank you. This is about fucking time.
You wanted some.
Now, it just sort of goes a little bit downhill from here.
Probably won't do any good.
Yeah, no, I'm going to try this again, Devin. I'm going to call fucking Rick, the fucking asshole that he is.
He might be listening to you right now.
Yeah, he may be.
Probably is.
So Goose calls in and says, hey, buddy, listen, I'm out here listening to this train wreck, and I suggest if you want to talk to Rick, hang up and call Rick. I mean, he was wanting me to be the bridge between him and a host that I personally don't like. And although I did it the night before, I didn't want to do it because I don't care for Rick. Rick is two-faced. And what I mean by that is Rick is real sweet to my face, but vicious behind my back. And I hate people like that. I can't stand. If I don't like you, I'm going to tell you I don't like you. I'm not going to act like I like you. I mean, I've got class. I know how to act. I know how to be cordial to people, but I'm not going to be phony. And so Goose calls in, and then Mr. Midnight Movie calls in, and then I end up just staying on because Goose and Derek and Pimp Hat called in, and we talked to them for a while, and then I ended it with just some goofy stuff. But I held up my end of the bargain. I held up what I told you I would do, and I did it, and you did not. You stood there all night and screamed at me to get Rick on the phone, and I told you repeatedly I cannot get Rick on the phone, and that was all you really cared about. And then when the guys came on to try to talk to me and help me out, they sort of, I wouldn't say they white-knighted, but they just called in to kind of help me out with the problem. You were screaming at them and cussing at them and calling them names and fuck you and all this kind of stuff. So I feel at this moment, I'm going to make this assessment. I feel that I'm owed an apology because I did everything I was supposed to do, and I will accept nothing more than what I would give to you. If I had done that to somebody, I would already be asking for forgiveness because I think it's pretty shitty the way I was treated, and I will accept nothing short of what I would expect, and that would be an apology. So if you're willing to apologize, then we'll let bygones be bygones. But until then, and for God's sake, keep that crazy psycho girl off of me. I'll see you next time.
If I had a boat, I'd go out on the ocean. And if I had a pony, I'd ride him on my boat. And we could all together go out on the ocean. Set me upon my pony on my boat. And if I were Roy Rogers, I'd sure enough be single. I couldn't bring myself to marrying old Dale. It'd just be me and Trigger, go riding through the movies. Then we buy a boat and on the sea we sail. And if I had a boat, I'd go out on the ocean. If I had a pony, I'd ride him on my boat. And we could all together go out on the ocean. Set me upon my pony on my boat. The mystery masked man was smart. He got himself a Tonto, 'cause Tonto did the dirty work for free. But Tonto, he was smarter. One day said Kimosabe, kiss my ass, I bought a boat, I'm going out to